There is a war most people are fighting every single day. And the enemy is not outside of them. It is inside their own mind. Not a dramatic war, not something they would describe that way, but a quiet, exhausting battle with their own thoughts. Thoughts that repeat without permission. Thoughts that spiral into worst-case scenarios at 2 a.m. Thoughts that arrive uninvited and refuse to leave no matter what you do. Most people assume the solution is control. Push the thought away. Replace it with something positive. Think harder. Think differently. But here is what almost no one tells you. The harder you fight a thought, the stronger it becomes. And in the next few minutes, I want to show you why that happens and what actually works instead. Right now, whatever you do, do not think of a white bear. Do not picture a white bear standing in snow. Do not imagine its fur or its breath. What happened? You saw the bear. This is not a failure of willpower. This is how the mind works. Psychologist Daniel Wegner at Harvard called it ironic process theory. The act of trying to suppress a thought requires your brain to monitor for that thought. And the act of monitoring keeps it active. So every time you tell yourself, stop thinking about this, your brain hears something different. It hears, keep checking for this thought. Make sure it is still there. This is why people who try the hardest to control their thinking feel the most out of control. It is not because they are doing it wrong. The strategy itself is flawed. Suppression does not silence a thought. It amplifies it. Eckhart Tolle describes this beautifully. He says, most people are so identified with their thinking that they do not realize there is a space between themselves and their thoughts. They believe they are their thoughts. So when an unwanted thought appears, it feels like a personal threat, like something has gone wrong inside them. But Tolle offers a different perspective. He says the moment you notice a thought, you have already stepped outside of it. The noticing is not the thought. The noticing is awareness. And awareness does not need to fight anything. It simply observes. Imagine sitting beside a river. The thoughts are the water. They flow past. Some are clear, some are muddy, some move fast, some move slow. You do not need to stop the river. You do not need to clean every drop. You simply sit on the bank and watch. The problem is that most people are standing in the middle of the river, waist deep, trying to hold the water still with their bare hands. And then they wonder why they are exhausted. Stepping onto the bank does not require effort. It requires permission. Permission to let thoughts flow without treating each one like an emergency. Thich Nhat Hanh taught something similar, but with even more tenderness. And I think this tenderness is what most people are missing. He said when a difficult thought arises, you do not need to chase it away. You do not need to wrestle it into submission. You can hold it the way a mother holds a crying child. Not with judgment, not with impatience, but with presence. Hello, anxiety. I see you. I am here. This works because it removes resistance, and resistance is what gives unwanted thoughts their power. When you fight a thought, you create a relationship of opposition. Both sides stay engaged. Energy is drained. Nothing resolves. But when you acknowledge a thought without fighting it, something shifts. The thought does not vanish instantly, but it loses its charge. It becomes quieter, less urgent, because most unwanted thoughts are not looking for a solution. They are looking for attention. And once they receive it gently, they begin to soften. They begin to pass. Now, here is where most people get stuck. They hear this advice and try to do it perfectly. They sit down, close their eyes, and expect silence. When the thoughts keep coming, they feel like they have failed. But that is the misunderstanding. Letting go is not a single event. It is a practice, a rhythm that develops over time. You would not expect to play piano after one session. So why expect your mind to transform after one meditation? The goal was never to stop every thought. The goal is to stop believing every thought deserves your full attention. Most thoughts are not truth. They are habits, echoes of old fears and old stories. They replay not because they are important, but because they are familiar. And familiarity is not the same as truth. There is a phrase I return to often. Thoughts are visitors. Let them come and go. Not permanent residents, not landlords. Visitors. You did not invite most of them, and you do not owe them a long stay. Each time you notice a thought without becoming it, you build something, a new relationship with your own mind. Not a relationship of control, but of trust. You begin to trust that you are not your worst thought, that a passing fear does not define your reality, that the mind will settle on its own if you stop stirring the water. Imagine a glass of muddy water. If you keep shaking it, the water stays cloudy, but if you set it down and leave it alone, the sediment settles. The water clears, not because you filtered it, because you stopped disturbing it. Your mind works the same way. The clarity you're looking for is already there, underneath the noise, waiting for you to stop shaking the glass. So if your mind feels loud right now, if there is a thought that keeps circling no matter what you do, let me offer you this. You are not broken. Your mind is not malfunctioning. You are simply caught in a pattern of resistance. And resistance can be unlearned, not by fighting harder, but by softening, by letting the thought be there, without letting it be in charge. Clarity is not the absence of thoughts. It is the ability to let them pass without losing yourself in them. And that ability is already inside you. It always has been.